welcome everybody into a special edition of the Viking Redzone Report. Nathan Lamb here alongside Lugs Harold. We have a special guest via the internet, Skype. We've got Nick Pittman. I guess we can say former center for the Vinton County Vikings now, as you just recently graduated. So we wanted to get Nick out there. Obviously, we wanted to talk to you about your time here, about your 4 years as a starter. We'll hit on some of that. But we wanted to just kind of, sports are starting to come back, and we just kind of wanted to get out there and, get a little piece of it. So obviously Lugs is here. Brad having some internet issues right now at the moment. I don't know if he'll be able to join us in a little bit. Hopefully he will. But so we just
probably got to get a T1 connection over there because he's got like 75 consoles in his house and 65 cameras, and I mean, it's a lot of work.
Yeah, he pulls a lot of bandwidth, I think, from our area. So thanks for taking the time, Nick, to get on here with us. We appreciate you joining us in this weird time.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we'll just start off by talking about your time. Obviously, you played under a couple different head coaches. You had some really consistent years at Vinton County, and you went 5-5, 4-6 a few times. But being in media and doing radio and knowing other radio stations and media people, throughout your career, you were one person that really was talked about. And I know that's hard to believe, as, all linemen know, they never get talked about, right? But you were one that maybe not so much in the papers or on the radio, but for coaches that I would talk to around the league, they would bring your name up. Like, hey, that Pittman kid he's pretty good. He's the best center I've seen. I heard that from multiple different assistant coaches around the TVC. So just give us a little bit of an overview of what the last 4 years has been for you, and some of the difficulties and some of the successes from those 4 years.
It's been incredible. I can still remember my freshman year coming on the team, and when I was told that I was going to be the varsity center, and I got up there a solid $190, and I was standing by the guys of like Brock Ray, Tyler Congrove, Darren Perry, and Bryce Dameron, and I just looked like the little brother out at your old family ball game. And I was absolutely terrified going against some of the huge guys I got to play against, but they helped a lot in teaching me how to use my body weight and using more of a speed advantage. And over the years, I've had some great coaches that said, you're not the biggest, but just work at what you do, and it's all about leverage in the line. So that always helped, and working out throughout the summer, and always through all the coaching changes, we had a great workout program no matter what. So.
Well, now, so I grew up with your older brother, Charles, and we spoke before we started recording how I used to we used to hang out at each other's houses all the time, play basketball, whatever. And, I remember you being just this baby at the time. You were just real small. Probably don't even remember me ever being there, but, I live close to Charles now. We live like 5 houses away from each other here in MacArthur. And, he's told me multiple times that he taught you everything you know about football. Is that true?
That's total bull.
So that's not true.
No, he taught me how to throw football, and he worked with me when I became a center in Little Vikes how to work on snapping. But blocking-wise and all that, no, absolutely not.
He's taking credit for all of it. So, I mean, you might want to have a talk with him at the next family dinner. Maybe hash that out. No, but seriously, I always liked your family. Your mom always made some really good dinners when I would come over. She does. Really good cook. So all right. So you talked a little bit about your beginning stages and how you kind of broke in on the offensive line. Tell us a little bit about the later stages, your senior year. You know that this is the last year for you. and your fellow seniors. Put that down, Lugs. Put little Joe down. Try to ask
Little Joe had to make an appearance. He had to make it. Little Joe, everybody. Little Joe Burrow. Go ahead.
Tell us a little bit about the last season. Coming into the last season, you got a new head coach, new coaching staff all around. What was the expectation? Did you live up to it? Did things go the way you thought they would? Give us a little bit about that final season, and talk a little bit about as you got through that final season towards the end of the year. When did it really sink in that this is it and it's coming to an end?
Well, talking on the coaches, Coach Bethel, all those guys, they're great coaches, and I expect great things from them in the future. I know where the program's heading. I know they're going to get in those guys in there. They're working right now. They've got to be on their own. I've seen videos of kids out working out. They've got kids working on their own like I haven't seen before. Coming into the season, it didn't really hit that it was my final season. I mean, I was fired up like I am every year. I'm ready to play until I want to say about halfway through or so. I was sitting in my parking spot, and I got there at school a little early, and I got to see the end of the sunrise setting on the field. And it just hit me there that I was like, this is coming up to be my last game. And that hurt. And thinking about it just kept pushing harder and harder. Expectation-wise, I think we fell short a little bit from what we had, our talent. I think, honestly, a couple plays go our way. What you're looking at is TVC champs and going into the playoffs, but just how the game rolls sometimes. So I believe we did fall a little short.
Yeah, but I think when you look at it from an outsider's perspective, you look at the Benton County program over the last, let's say, 20 years. There's not been a lot of success, and there's been a lot of turnover in terms of head coach and coaching staff. So we roll into 2019 in the same situation we've been in countless times before. We've got new faces everywhere. What's going to happen? We've got some new teams on the schedule. So from an outsider's perspective, you guys were not really feared at all. And you really proved to everyone in the TBC and outside of the TBC that, the changes that we did make this time were the right ones. They were moving us in the right direction from day one. And you saw that on the field. And like you said, a few plays go differently, and you're looking at a team that is right on the doorstep of a playoff. Which, I mean, you can't really ask Lugs about the playoffs because he never made it, but he was I guess close. Right, Lugs? You were close.
Close as you can be. So yeah, sometimes you do all you can do, and then when the politics come into play, you just gotta let the politics fall where they fall, man. That's what you do.
Not sure about politics. I think it was the fact that you played Miller. Sometimes you gotta beef up the schedule, which I think our schedule this year was pretty solid. So let me just ask you a couple more things about let's say just your senior season. Give me it's 5 years removed, and you're at your 5-year reunion, and you see some of your buddies from the football team. What's the first thing you say to each other at that 5-year reunion when you're talking about the old football team?
Probably look at some of the skill guys and say, "Man, you've gained some weight." But
that's a good answer because I think
it's going to happen. Yeah, it's going to happen.
No, realistically, if I'm talking to some of the linemen and all, I think our best phrase is going to be the water tower, because that was Fairchild's favorite punishment for us this year. Was if you messed up, you were running to touch that water tower until he said stop.
Well,
and so
a pretty far hike from the football field.
What is it, like 100 yards? It's not that far.
What?
From the practice field, they practice.
Yeah.
It's a practice field, dude.
Well,
it's like 100 yards up the hill.
Yeah, but it's up. It's straight uphill.
I'm not demeaning your pain or anything, but just saying it's.
Bugs. I want to run to the water tower.
I couldn't drive to the water tower without being out of breath.
Tell me it's not. Running period sucks.
Yeah.
That out of the way. Okay, so give me your favorite memory. Could be good, could be bad, could be whatever from your time as a 4-year starter at Benton County?
Honestly, it's probably got to be for me junior year when we beat Nelsonville. That was a nice one.
Yeah, that was
CLA.
kind of a revenge game, right?
Yeah.
That was leading up to that game. Was that on your mind? Was it, hey, these guys stole one from us a year ago? Is that what fueled you guys that week?
It was that, and another little piece of motivation for me was the senior class before us. I believe I think they were 1-2 going into that game in their career against Nelsonville, and that's all. One of the things that fueled me. I was like, let's class to go through that's 500 against a team that's been seen as not as one of the top tiers, and we did it. We got them to 2-2, and I felt good about that.
And I will say, there's not a lot of teams in Benton County history or a lot of classes that have that 500 record against Nelsonville York because they have been so dominant for so long.
Yeah.
Well, I think we've been at this for a little while. We got a little bit of insight from Nick. I do want to point out that you're one of very few, and by few I mean less than 10 people that have started every game in your career for Benton County High School, which is absolutely amazing. The fact that you were able to do that, and at a lineman position where you see linemen go down every single year, but somehow you were able to, whether you were hurt or not, you were able to will yourself back out on the field and get out there and play. So that's an accomplishment of its own. You're a great kid on and off the field. Everybody talks highly of you. We do have one more thing that we want to go over with you before we wrap this up and let you go. So we really brought you on here not to talk football, not to talk about anything else. We brought you on here to let you know that you are going to receive the 2020 VCVikings.com scholarship presented by DMC Excavating and Construction. So congratulations to you. You've earned it.
Well deserved, man. Well deserved.
Job, and we're happy to be able to help you out as you move forward in your academic career.
Well, thank you guys. It means a lot.
So before we jump off here, I just want to find out where are you going and what do you plan on doing over the next few years as you enter college?
I'm going to Ohio University to major in biology with the prereq track of physical therapy. I'm going to try to minor in Spanish if at all possible, and I'm going to try to continue my athletic career there with trying to walk onto the field as a long snapper.
Oh, that's awesome. That would be super.
That'll be great, man. Yeah.
Well, hey, we really appreciate you taking your time. And before you go, I'm sure you took 4 years of Spanish.
Yes, sir.
Can you something in Spanish?
What do you want to hear?
Can you say Lugs is an idiot?
Lugs es muy estúpido.
Yes, that's what I want to hear. Hey, yeah. So I guess we'll just go ahead and wrap it up. We really appreciate you taking the time to come on here with us. Hopefully you weren't, hopefully you didn't know about it and we got you off guard and surprised. That's what we wanted to do.
Boomer probably told him and just didn't tell me he told him. Boomer probably slipped it, didn't he?
No, I was expecting to come on here and just talk about football, actually.
Well, good. We accomplished it.
Yeah, yes.
Anyway, congratulations to you, your family. We know you're going to go on and do great things. Again, your family is wonderful. I've known them for a long time. Just keep on going and listen. If there's anybody that can go somewhere and walk on, it's you. It's the determination you have to be able to take the risk and step onto a field, like you said, at a $190 with all these monsters around you your freshman year and not be rattled by it. There's nothing you can't do. So we really look forward to seeing what you can accomplish in your life and your athletic career, your academic career. We will want you to come back onto the show at some point in the future. Hopefully we get things back to normal and we can get back in the studio so we don't have to show people our faces because we like to do that. I think that kind of takes away from us. Obviously,
if we had nice hair like Nick, though, it wouldn't be as bad. I think we could probably.
It's a little rough right now.
Well, Chester's Barbershop is back open. You can go up there and get your hair cut now. So that's a free plug for Aaron. But again, thank you for taking the time. We really appreciate it, man, and congratulations.
Thank you guys. And anytime you need me, just give me a call.
Yeah.
I'll
Awesome.
hop on.